My friend, this is why we watch hockey. This game between my two favorite teams, the Vancouver Canucks and the Montreal Canadiens, was one of the most exciting things I'd seen in a long time. This was kind of reminiscent of the Colorado game, you know, the Boeser Pettersson 9-point game that we saw a few years ago. Yeah, this was that. If you're wondering why I don't stream Canucks games, I've said it a ton before, but I get super passionate watching this team. And when the games get exciting, things get even louder. And this game was a prime example of why I just gotta have to sit back, chill out, relax with my folks, and watch this beautiful sport. And we're gonna have another game of this tomorrow, so buckle up. But for now, let's talk about Game 1 between Vancouver-Montreal taking place Wednesday night, January 20th. This one, I have a few blanket statements to make before we go over the actual game results and what happened in here. First off, blanket statement number 1, Jalen Chatfield made his debut. The Vancouver Canucks decided to scratch Olli Juolevi, take him out, move Nate Schmidt over to the left side, have him playing with Tyler Myers, and then move that open right spot and give it to Jalen Chatfield. They had him playing over with Edler, and Hughes was with Hamonic. The same thing was there. And Jalen Chatfield looked really good. Oh my gosh, this guy was making some very good defensive decisions, making some very good quick-timed moves with the puck. He avoided danger, he kept things safe, and when things got a little bit rough, he rose to the occasion and he played it as calmly as he played it the entire night. Blanket statement number 2, the referees. Okay, yeah. Even as a guy who cheers for the Vancouver Canucks and was like, yes, go in the power play, Vancouver, let's see what you got, things were weird watching the referees go out there and hand the Canadiens so many penalties after penalties. Now, some of them were deserved. Some of them definitely were deserved. Anderson throwing it over to Glass, yeah, that's deserved. But there were a few other calls for the Vancouver Canucks that went uncalled that eventually led into Canadian penalties afterwards, and it wasn't fun seeing the inequalities there, but of course, you know, as a guy who cheers for both teams here, I was just like, okay, I kind of want to get goals, you know, like, let's see goals. And if you saw the hype stream we made before this game, my prediction, not even really prediction, my want, was that I wanted the Canucks to win in overtime, because I said the Canucks, in my opinion, were the inferior team, and therefore I wanted them to get as many points as they could against a team in Montreal whom I thought would have an easier time getting points as the season went on. At the end of the day, I like both of these teams, so I want them both to experience success, so 3-point games are the best case scenario in my opinion, and we had a 3-point game here tonight. The Canucks ultimately take this one as a 6-5 score in the shootout, and the tone was set immediately for the rest of the game because Thomas Tatar went to the penalty box. It was like in the first, 15, 20 seconds of the game, it was not great. The Canucks could not set up their power play properly. The Canadiens' penalty kill, which was very strong against Edmonton, proved to be even stronger here on this first shift. And then a few minutes later, hey, the first Vancouver Canucks shot of the game goes in, but it's turned away because Sutter deflected it with a high stick. Yeah, you can't do that, buddy. Sorry. Early on in the game, I noticed that Tyler Myers was playing really well. He had a very good play on Josh Anderson, where Anderson was coming in on a semi-breakaway, and Myers reached around him to poke the puck away clean. He had a very good showing early on in the game. But there was somebody else on the other side who had a very good start to this game as well, with some good chances. He's a guy whom we've been speaking about all season as a great Canadiens player who just could not bury chances. Tyler Toffoli. We'll get more on him later. That first period, though, was just filled with so many glorious chances. Holtby kind of fumbled the puck down low. That eventually did not result in a goal, but it was really darn close. Pettersson, Boeser, Miller, Chatfield, and Edler had some really good pressure towards the middle part of that first period, which ended up in a Sherratt holding penalty. But that penalty gave the Vancouver Canucks the swagger to go out there. Hughes sends it over to Miller, who goes down low and he finds Horvat. It's the triangle play in perfection right here as Horvat buries the very first Canucks goal on the power play this season. It's 1-0 Vancouver. Just a few minutes later, Elias Pettersson comes in with a breakaway. He tries the through the legs move, but he gets stopped. And you could see the confidence slowly building up here with Elias Pettersson as things are going on. But my gosh, Petey comes over here, he gets robbed by Carey Price. Hoglander had some very good speed the next few shifts as well, coming in here trying to steal the puck away. And then the Vancouver Canucks had a 3-on-1 opportunity. And in theory, that sounds amazing. 3-on-1s almost always result in goals, right? Well, not when you have Sutter, Beagle, and Jolin Chatfield as your guys. Yeah, it's completely blown dead. It doesn't even really get a shot off. It's not great. The second period started off really hot. The Canucks got clogged up at center ice because Travis Hamonic pinched in trying to defend Quinn Hughes, who gets taken down on the play, leaving Tyler Toffoli wide open over there on the left wing, who receives the pass. He walks in, easy, shoots, he scores. It's in, tie game right there. And Travis Hamonic, man, I get that you're trying to stand up for your guy, but you can't be leaving the wing open like that. And the Habs immediately after had a great opportunity to take the lead. They had a 2-on-1 after Nate Schmidt pinched a little bit too foolishly. He gets completely outplayed and the Canadiens come in with the rush. It misses the net, it deflects out into the neutral zone where Schmidt is there. He comes in with the guy who has the puck, Tyler Motte, on a 2-on-1 chance the other way. Motte doesn't even use his guy, he uses him as a bait as he shoots it, 5-hole on Carey Price. It's 2-1 Vancouver. Canucks fans are celebrating, but not for long, as Tyler Toffoli again comes in here. A very bad pinch by the Canucks defense once again. It's Hamonic who goes a little bit too far on the right side, opening up the middle where Tyler Toffoli gets the pass from Nick Suzuki. Very good tic-tac-toe right into the back of the net there. Toffoli gets a goal again, second of the game, and it's tied up at 2. Kotkaniemi then got himself an unsportsmanlike penalty, and this one kind of ticked off Habs fans that I saw everywhere. Canucks fans were like, okay, great, power play time, but we didn't even get a replay on what happened. TSN nor Sportsnet showed a close-up on what they thought the play was that Kotkaniemi was getting penalized for, but regardless, it's a Hughes shot from the point that gets rebounded off of Carey Price's pads. Boeser is there on the backhand to rip it by. He doesn't even rip it, he just lightly passes it into the net. It's 3-2 Vancouver on their power plays now. They're actually doing stuff. And a lot of people are kind of freaking out because the Canucks are getting power play goals now. It had been a while, but they had been saving up all their power play conversions for this game. And then there was a 2-on-1 the other way. Evans and Byron, oh my gosh, what happened there? Byron hit the post. We then had a very questionable call on Kulak, who had a holding penalty. I didn't really think it was a penalty, but it was. Canucks don't score there. Afterwards, it's Tatar and Gallagher on the 2-on-1. Gallagher comes in, huge speed. He's always skating hard. You know how Brendan Gallagher plays. The guy never quits on a play. And he scores to tie things up at 3 to end off the second period. Edler starts off the third away. He hadn't been playing for most of the second, and the Sportsnet crew thought it was a Lehkonen hit that sidelined Edler, but Chatfield had a bigger role here. He played very well, as I said. But the period started off poorly for Vancouver because they gave another huge lane to start things off. Petrie had a mini breakaway where the puck kind of bounces over his stick and he can't corral it. That was so dangerous, but Vancouver, man, they're giving up way too many open lanes to the net. They weren't keeping their checks properly. But after that, it was kind of okay for Vancouver because Josh Anderson takes the puck and he throws it over the glass. It's not great. It's at the worst possible time. It takes the Canucks a minute to set up on the power play, but Horvat scores on a play from Miller to Boeser to Horvat. It's that tic-tac-toe once again. We had a whole bunch of great chances afterwards. Habs had pressure. Beagle blocked a shot from Weber. Took him a while to get up. Suzuki had some very good plays to open up space. Motte almost had another 2-on-1 goal where he tried to go up over the shoulder, but Carey Price stood tall. And then it's Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who takes a shot. It's off a few things, but he scores and ties the game at 4. And Kotkaniemi, I'd been saying it this entire time, man, he's been due. He has been such a strong shooter throughout the past calendar year, and he came over here, finally gets himself his first goal in the year. Canucks fans are kind of panicking because, okay, we had just given up the lead the 4th time here in this game. Now we're heading into crunch time. Let's just see if we can try to get this to overtime. And oh my goodness, Tyler Toffoli, oh my gosh, he gets a hat trick. Yeah, when Petrie started loading up at the blue line with nobody attacking him, I was like, okay, this is going to be a goal. Canucks luck, Habs luck, this is a goal right here. He shoots it, Toffoli with a tip, and yeah, it's a Montreal lead, 5-4. Doesn't look like the Canucks are going to get a point out of this one. because storybook games like this, it's almost always the underdog that wins, right? So I don't really think the Canucks are going to get anything out of this one. Maybe, at the very least, we can make a video talking to Habs fans about how great their team is and all that. But oh my gosh, Brock Boeser, it's a tie game once again! Brock Boeser takes it after JT Miller waltzes his way into the Canadian zone. He holds it in the corner. He pops back out on the half board, sends it over to Boeser, who grips it and rips it. Petey is the screen. It's 5-5 the tie. And eventually, you don't need me to tell you, but things hold up that way and we go to overtime. Gallagher, by the way, almost gets the game-breaking goal with like 2 seconds left. That was thwarted away by Braden Holtby's pad. And then we had the overtime. And you don't need me to tell you what happened there. I think everybody kind of remembers that overtime. So many chances either way. Brock Boeser kind of dangled the pants off of Carey Price. Tyler Motte couldn't finish it in tight. This overtime was the reason we watch hockey. Seriously. Like, that was exciting. That was so incredibly frustrating, but so invigorating at the same time. I just could not take it. Although we end up with 0 goals on the play because, hey, the goalies were very good. And then we had ourselves the shootout. Pettersson was stopped, Byron was stopped, Miller ended up scoring after cutting super wide, Jonathan Drouin got stopped, Boeser got stopped, and Suzuki, of all people, comes over here and ties it. At this point, it's the end of round 3, we're going over to round 4, Canucks fans are scrambling, Habs fans are excited, and then it's Bo Horvat who comes in. He's 3 for 16 on his career heading into the shot. All 3 of them were game-deciding shots. He gets his 4th here by just bolting it through the 5-hole of Carey Price. That 4th one eventually is the game winner as Tyler Toffoli comes in and he shoots it off the post. Vancouver takes this one 6-5 in a shootout. Both teams getting points here. Vancouver not completely down in the dumps yet. I mean, Edmonton ended up winning their game against Toronto here, so even though they dropped 2 in regulation to Montreal recently, they're back in it as well. Brock Boeser is now at the top of the league in goals. Like, he is tied with Travis Konechny and Bobby Ryan, which is awesome to see. Carey Price out here. Do I expect a bigger game out of him on Saturday? Probably. And we'll probably see Jake Allen here tomorrow because, yeah, spoiler alert, they play again tomorrow. So we'll do a hype stream again for tomorrow's game, and we're all just going to relive that experience because that hockey game between Vancouver and Montreal, this game 1 was so incredible. Talk to me in the comments what you think. This has been a 12-minute long video. We don't normally do these kinds of things. Talk to me in the comments what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Trolls999. Check out our hype stream tomorrow. We're going to talk about all things Canucks, Habs, and all that before the game begins. And bye.